A widow's Christmas wish. The first snow fell on December 3rd. Thin and quiet, like the world was trying not to wake her grief. Mara stood by the window of her small house, one hand wrapped around a mug that had long since gone cold. Across the room, a single ornament lay in her palm, a wooden star her husband Daniel had carved years ago, the edges smoothed by his patience. She hadn't put up the tree yet. She wasn't sure she would. Christmas used to be loud in this house. Daniel hummed off-key while untangling lights, argued with the radio about which carol was best, kissed her forehead when he thought she wasn't looking. Now the silence pressed in, heavy and unkind. "I'm not ready," she whispered to no one. Later that afternoon, she pulled on her coat and stepped outside, the cold biting her cheeks. She walked without purpose until she reached the community center, drawn by the glow spilling from its windows. A sign taped to the door read, "Christmas Charity Drive, volunteers needed." Mara hesitated, then went in. Inside, warmth wrapped around her, scented with pine and cinnamon. Boxes lined the walls, and people moved with quiet purpose. She was taping a lid when a man beside her spoke. "Careful with that one," he said gently. "It's heavier than it looks." She glanced up and met kind, tired eyes. He smiled, not the bright, easy kind, but something softer earned. "Thanks," she replied. "I'm Mara. Eli." They worked side by side in comfortable silence, until Eli nodded toward her hands. "That's a wedding ring." Mara stiffened, instinctively ready to retreat. But there was no pity in his voice, only understanding. She said. "He passed away last winter." Eli swallowed. "My wife too. 3 years ago." The words settled between them like a shared breath. Over the next weeks, they kept meeting at the charity drive, at the coffee shop across the street, at the park dusted white with snow. They talked about grief without dramatics, about the strange guilt of laughing again, about how love doesn't vanish when someone dies. It just changes shape. On Christmas Eve, Mara invited Eli over for tea. The tree stood in the corner at last, modest but glowing. The wooden star crowned its top. "I almost didn't do it," she admitted. "I'm glad you did," Eli said softly. They sat close, the room warm, the past present, but no longer crushing. When midnight came, church bells rang faintly in the distance. "What do you wish for now?" Eli asked. Mara considered the question, then smiled a real smile, surprising and bright. "Not to forget," she said. "But to live again." Eli reached for her hand, slow and careful, giving her time to pull away. She didn't. Outside, snow fell thicker, covering the world in something clean and new. And for the first time in a long while, Mara believed that joy could return not as it once was, but as something just as beautiful.